All right, good morning. Called this meeting to order. This is the Commission on Post-Mortem Examinations. Today's date is Thursday, February 3rd, 2022, and the time is now 10:36 a.m. Do a quick roll call for the record pursuant to 10 GCA Section 81101. The following members of the commission that are present: myself, Levan Taitano Camacho, Chief GPD Police Chief Ignacio, are you on the call?
Present.
Okay. We received word that Dr. Umbrale will not be able to join us. Is Administrator Perez Posadas on the call?
Present. Thank you.
And we are still awaiting Director San Augustin, but at this point we have quorum and we'll proceed with our meeting. This meeting is being conducted in compliance with the Open Government Law and Public Law 3634. There is publication of the agenda and meeting details in the Guam Daily Post and on our website on January 27th, 2022. There was also publication of the agenda and meeting details in the Guam Daily Post on February 1st, 2022. This meeting is being broadcasted live on YouTube. Next item on the agenda is approval of prior minutes from our last meeting on November 18th, 2021. If the other commission members could just review and see if there are any corrections that need to be made. While the other commission members are reviewing, I do want to also add that this notice of the meeting and agenda was published on the public notice portal for the government of Guam. Administrator Chief, do you guys have any revisions or corrections?
No, sir. Motion to accept minutes.
Okay, so approved. So minutes of November 18, 2021 are now approved. And we'll move on to the next item on our agenda, which is old business. Johanna, could you just give us an update on where we're at with FY22 budget?
So for FY 2022, projected lapse as of this month, February 2022, the total projected lapse for the overall CME budget is 225,000. Out of that 225,000, salaries is at 165. So this is a breakdown now that I'm doing. And then benefits at 60,000. That would equal to 225.
This is for fiscal year 2022, correct? Which we are currently in.
Correct.
Okay. So it's really not a lapse yet because it's not over. We're still going through it, correct?
That's correct. What I did was a projection on what was needed for the current staff that's available for the remainder of the fiscal year. So that was already taken into consideration, as well as a projection on what is needed for contractual services.
Okay.
Okay. Is there anything else, Johanna, you want to add for FY22?
Anything in particular?
No, I'm just seeing if there's anything else. And Chief or Administrator, do you have any other questions, or we can move on to the next item? Okay, thank you, Johanna. Appreciate it. Moving on to the next item, which is a second amendment to the medical examiner's contract. And this is just a proposal. To give some background, when we started with the forensic pathologists under contract, they were all out of Hawaii. and we were able to negotiate a fixed rate for the airfare from Hawaii to Guam. We now have a forensic pathologist in the Midwest, and Dr. Lang has since moved to Florida or New York. So the proposal that we have is that the cost of airfare we would cover it would be $2,200 or actual cost, whichever is less, and that's from the Hawaii to Guam, and $2,400 or actual cost, whichever is less from another location. So we're just taking into account the different airfare rates. Thank you. Good morning, Director St. Augustine. Long time no see. I know you've been busy as well, as we all have been on the call. So if we're just asking for authority. I wanted to clarify and inform the other commission members that that's where we're going. That's the explanation, is that there has been a change in airfare as well as where our forensic pathologists are flying in from. So is there a motion to give me authority to execute these amendments with our forensic pathologists?
So moved.
Okay, the second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Director, well, I'm going to vote yes, so we have you outvoted just in case you voted no. So I'm assuming that the thumbs up was a yes, though.
Aye.
So we'll move forward with making that change to the contracts. And now moving on to the next item on the agenda, which is the Chief Medical Examiner position recruitment status. So at the last meeting, we discussed making an offer to Dr. Su, and just to recap, that offer was $310,000 salary. And it actually was a total package of over $400,000. We extended that offer, and for various reasons, he declined. Fortunately, we have another applicant who myself and Dr. Umbrale met with. His name is Dr. Jeffrey Nine, and his application, and you should have received his application and his credentials. We believe he's extremely qualified. He is currently a chief medical examiner in the state of Arizona. He also was a professor of pathology at the University of Pittsburgh. So he has both a medical as well as an academic background in the area of forensic pathology. I will share that he also raised the fact that he was interested in forensic anthropology, which has become relevant to us more recently. So he has a little bit of a background in that as well. So, good.
No, I'm very impressed with this CV. He's got lots of honors and awards, and he's done a lot of articles and publications, and so I'm very impressed. And yes, he's got forensic background and credentials. So, I mean, what do we need to do to move forward to recruit him?
Okay, just to close a few items here, as my staff are telling me. So the justification Dr. Su gave for declining was he believed, and I think we all agree, that the medical examiner facility could use updating, but he didn't feel he was in a position to come in. And he also believed that the budget should be significantly higher, which we also agree with, but we're not at that point yet. So kind of what comes first, the cart or the horse. Dr. Nine is aware of the situation at the CME, and he actually seemed very willing and excited about the challenge of coming and elevating and Johanna coming in and helping you and getting you guys where you need to be. We also explained to him that we're going through the budgeting process now, and that there was legislation that we've forwarded to generate more fees for the CME office. Administrator, relevant to you, he talked about the possibility of handling the autopsies for the hospital, and instead of us paying GMH $100 through an MOU, GMH potentially paying the CME funds and generating funds in that way to perform autopsies for the hospital. So he's already thinking of ways to generate income. Again, I agree, very impressive. At this point, we would just need authority to extend the offer, and I would recommend Dr. Umbrale, who I've mentioned now, has replaced Dr. Taitano as the president of the Guam Medical Association. So we did have a doctor present in that interview with Dr. Nine. So if there's a motion to extend the same offer to Dr. Nine, we can prepare and formalize that and get that over to him.
I so move, my chairman, to extend the same offer to Dr. Nine.
Okay, is there a
I
second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so we will put together an offer letter to Dr. Nine, and I will let you know. He did give an estimate of about 120 days that he would be able to start. So that would be a similar timeline. And we've gone through the projections for budget that the CME office does have funds. I also was able to confirm with General Manabusan from the NMI that they still have the $50,000 that they're willing to share as part of the package that the doctor would perform forensic pathology services for both Guam and the NMI.
Also, when you have a chance, AG Lehman, let him know that there's an opportunity. We're going to build a new hospital, and so we're going to make sure there is a place there for the CME.
And I'm sure he'll appreciate that, Administrator. Okay, well, that's all we have for that agenda item. It's a big one. So again, we went from not having very many applicants to having 2 extremely qualified, and we'll be making that offer to Dr. Nine very shortly, probably soon after this meeting is done. Moving on to the next agenda item, which is new business, FY23 budget status. Johanna?
Hello. So for FY 2023, I did a budget proposal initially for the medical examiner's office, a little over $736,000 to fund for 2023, with the anticipation of hiring a forensic pathologist as well as additional staff. I just received late yesterday the governor's budget ceiling, and the governor approved our budget at $547,000. So it's a difference of $188,000. So as always, I will try to make it work within that budget ceiling. But come 2023, if we want to fund everything that I proposed initially, we're going to go ahead and try to get that additional funding if we can't get it elsewhere.
Thank you. Are there any questions for Johanna on FY23 proposed budget?
Yeah.
Well, I would anticipate that, if Dr. Nine does accept, I have told him that the commission would back him and lend whatever support we can for his budget request as we proceed in the budget process. So hopefully he'll be able to, if he accepts, evaluate and make a recommendation, and potentially, Johanna, either really confirm why you need the $700,000 and to properly staff that, whether it's through an appropriation or fee generating revenues. Okay. If there are no questions, we're going to move on to the next, which is personal hiring and staffing status. Johanna?
So currently right now, I am again the only sole personnel for the CME's office. I did lose the morgue attendant for personal reasons. The morgue attendant had to resign. She resigned as of last month. And so currently right now, I am getting assistance with the help of Administrator Lillian Posadas. She has extended some of her personnel to assist the office as well. And these individuals have been here previously in the past as well. So they're very well versed of what goes on here and what's needed to be done on a daily basis.
Mhm.
Well, thank you, Administrator. And I believe one of the issues, Johanna, correct me if I'm wrong, is that we had previously hired under an unclassified, just because it was an immediate need that had to be filled. So we just have to explore. We'll do what we can to have a hire quick, but then have a long-term plan of competition for a classified position at your office. Is that accurate?
That's correct. I'm hoping if we can get another limited term just for the time being, and then submit, hopefully by the time Dr. Nine comes in, he'll have that authority to hire a classified permanent position, personnel.
Okay. Are there any questions on that? And again, thank you, Administrator Prasad. I know you guys are busy and for pitching in and helping. I'm sure Johanna appreciates it as well. So thank you.
No problem.
Okay, if there aren't any other questions, we'll move to the public comment portion. Right, I don't see anything. Okay, so that concludes the meeting. It's 10:51, and thank you all for your attendance, and hopefully we'll have some good news to share with you shortly.
Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Adios.
Thank you.